Hello, everyone. Jose J. Garcia with Garcia Mohome University here. Very special guest here today. She is in Hawaii. I'm jealous, very jealous. So she is an entrepreneur, a founder, CEO of Zoo Consulting and Zoo Travels. Sarah Aksu, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you, Jose?
Very good, very good. Like I mentioned, you're in Hawaii, so I am jealous. You know, the closest to that, I was just in Key West, and the weather was beautiful. So I can only imagine what it looks like in Hawaii.
Yes, that's true. It's really beautiful weather today, but you are my fourth Zoom call, so nothing too jealous. I was working all day.
Okay, well, that's entrepreneurs. That's what we do. But so, Sarah, I know you through the same networking. We have the same platforms and that sort of thing. But for those that don't know you, tell us about you.
I would say I am a traveler, world traveler, and that's what drives me the best in where I came to and who I become. So it was the biggest shift in my life that one day I went to Bali Island when I was living in Turkey, and then it triggered the desire inside me, and something shifted, and I wanted to discover this world, and I found myself in America and Caribbean, Bahamas, traveling and working on these beautiful yachts behind me that you see. And now here I am in Hawaii. That was my dream to make this place my home and open my own company. And now here it is.
Beautiful places you just mentioned. I have been to the Bahamas and gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. So tell us about the Zoo Travels.
So interesting that what happens? You open a travel company and whole world stops traveling, right? That was the biggest challenge for 2020, and our desire was, the Hawaii is like a big, beautiful place to do the travels, and most of the passion that I have, this beautiful island that I wanted to show the whole island to everyone. And we do like planning and take you special tailor-made experiences, and also we do plan yacht travels with beautiful yachts that you see behind me, and
Yeah,
we tell you that this is going to be changing your life.
you're in Hawaii and you have yachts. That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. So now, do you come from an entrepreneur background?
I studied architecture, so I think this is one of the start point, I would say, because in architecture you have to be creative, right? And it is not like only like engineering. There's solid information there. You have to be creative and constant change, constant learning. So I was always in search. That probably one of the reasons that it will be easier for me to switch myself to entrepreneurship.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Now we all struggle, especially as entrepreneurs to stay focused and motivated to keep going. That's one of the hardest tasks, I think, which is just part of it. But how do you manage to keep going? Hard times. You started your business, and right as you start, the world stops. That's shocker. That's huge. So you struggle with something even more than most of us, I think. My business, luckily, it kept going, and it very quickly, even through the pandemic, it just sped up, which is a beautiful thing. I'm in real estate. But how do you push through these hard times, these difficulties, struggles?
That's really true. It was really difficult, but what I look in general, nothing on this earth is permanent, right? Everything is temporary. So always I believed in this is going to be soon, be away. I mean, it wasn't soon. It's almost like 1 year, but I was lucky. I say this. I focused on more my consulting business, and I still kept working, and I planned and I changed my marketing sales strategy. So it was not really I would say I don't ever complain. So I said, okay, it is what it is. This is all world is going through this, and I'm still feeling lucky because so many of the companies in here in Hawaii being closed permanently, so at least we are still standing, so that's more important to me. And on top of it, if you have desire for business, like nothing will stop you. Nothing will stop. You will find a way always, and you will always go for success. That's more important.
Good motivation. I love it. Yes, ma'am. So yeah, and you said one thing is you had to repivot. Absolutely. That wasn't a choice or an option. I mean, to keep going, you had to do what you had to do. And if you want it bad enough, you will go after it. So great to hear. Do you believe in saying yes and figuring it out later type mentality?
I've done it so many times. Yeah, that's that's for sure. I mean, uh, as an architect, you're designing a home, right? And I didn't really study it, landscaping, but your client asking you at least, hey, what do you think about the garden, backyard, pool, what area, what plants you, and you go and search for it, or you go and hire another landscaper, you say you figure it out. And I think it's the key that say yes and you'll figure it out later. It's one of the things that I often do.
I agree, and I've done it probably way too many times. It's worked out because I've made it work out, but that's definitely something I believe it's better to do that than just sit on the sideline and well, maybe, hopefully, that doesn't work. That's not going to get you anywhere. Maybe a yes may get you in trouble from time to time, but you'll learn something from it. So there's always a win behind that. What is one thing you can say to somebody struggling in business right now?
Just believe in yourself. I think that is the key, and that is the motivation that will drive you to actually focus on the end result and keep you going, keep you working. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will believe in yourself, right? And it's gonna be the point that you have no desire to make it better. It will not get you anywhere. You believe in yourself, it's not enough. Still, it is a motivation, yes, but you need to take actions as well. Be bold, be brave and fearless. When you become fearless, that really the world comes limitless. So many opportunities out there, no matter what happens in the world. I mean, yes, we have gone through the pandemic, but imagine like there are tsunamis, there are hurricanes. So all those years that I was working on the yachts, that I have gone through like very bad weather, and you find a way to get through it. So that's how I approach this.
You got me curious, and I'm going to ask you a few things about boats here in a minute, but excuse this question, but what do y'all do with boats when there's a hurricane? Is there somewhere you lock them up, or what happens to these boats?
Well, first of all, when it's hurricane, you plan before you go on a passage plan. So you have the 10 days weather and passage plans, what you need to do, where is your safe havens, your course, and everything. And as a captain, you decide if you're going to take this trip or not. So that's the start point. You don't really go on a trip when you know that there's going to be a tsunami. But there's a saying that when you are very close in the core eye of the hurricane, then you're safer than ever, the outside person.
Yeah, interesting for sure. Um, do you coach people, mentor people?
No, not really. I mean, I help and support my friends, the people around me. Um, but I don't know. I don't think I believe that I have still so much to learn, and maybe in the future that I might be interested. I helped along the way that some career planning and helping and guiding. Maybe we can say mentoring, but not like paid coaching. But I have my own coaches that I paid, that's for sure. And I believe in that. That's important.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, but definitely, I think like anything else, I don't think you're ever fully ready. I think you just are, and I can definitely tell you could definitely motivate many people. Even so far, I'm sure people are going to get a lot of motivation. So I would say, I'm sure people can learn a lot from you. But how important are your coaches, your mentors to you?
Um, I will say, you know, so when the boat is on the shore, that you are connected with the shore power, you have the electricity and everything. Once you disconnect, you need a generator to go, right? The electricity. So whenever everything is dark in your life, that you need a light to guide you. I always believed in like my heart is my guide, and I'm very grounded, spiritual, I believe humble, and very deep, thoughtful person, and I care so much. But there are some moments that it was like really hard for me as well. There are moments, all of us go through so much, and There are moments that you're so close to the edge and you are about to give up, or you don't know where to go, you lost your path, and that's where the coach is important, who knows you well and who reminds you who you are and guiding you, knowing your skills, knowing your weaknesses and strengths, and showing you the path to go. It is really important.
Absolutely. Somebody you can reach out to, somebody that's been there, done that kind of, I believe. Absolutely. No, without my coaches, I would not be where I am. And, it's just one of those, I need more coaches, if anything. So, very successful people have them. And there's a reason behind that. A lot of people think, well, they don't need them. And that's incorrect. Everybody needs a coach and a mentor. So what would you say is the favorite part of business and worse?
Oh, okay. This was a difficult. I mean, the creativity part is my favorite, that's for sure. It's coming from architecture, and most of the time, I wake up with 100 different ideas every day, and you don't get to implement everything. That's for sure, and that's the point that you really need a good team behind you, beside you, that work with you and actually implement all your ideas and creativity. That's the best part. And then the worst part is actually, I think, doing the probably the financials, the reports and the bookkeepings. And I mean, I have tax consultant and bookkeeping person that helps me around, but you need to guide them and you need to give all the information to them. So that's the most probably struggle, I will say, that it's a little bit boring to me.
I was about to say the boring stuff. Yeah, yeah, that's not a whole lot of excitement. I don't like numbers, so but okay, yeah, dead on. What do you think is the number one mistake or a very strong mistake that people trying to be successful make early on?
Oh, mistake. I mean, there's a lot of mistakes out there. The most important is just don't do the same mistake again the second time. So I will say try different mistakes if you're gonna keep making mistakes. But I believe that everything that we've gone through and even the mistakes is gonna be end up, if you know and learn from it and you get out of it, the best way you can with growth, then it is not the biggest mistake, I would say. So, but not taking risk even is a big mistake, what I believe. So you play too small, too big. I mean, depends on who you are, how bold you are, how big you are, how big your heart and vision is. You can start, yeah, we can't say that you start this way and that way, but I will say just even you do mistakes and you are going to make mistakes, just learn from it and grow for it, and just don't do the same mistake again.
Very well put. Absolutely. Um, yeah. No, and I can't add much to it because that's the point. It's even if you do make a mistake, is you learn from it and you keep going. But yeah, hesitation would be, I think,
Yeah,
number one.
I believe what made me today, what I have gone through in life. If I wouldn't go through everything that I have lived, coming to here, I lived in Turkey, that experience in life, traveling 8 years on the boats, working on the boats and traveling everywhere, like Bahamas, Caribbean, Mexico, East Coast, West Coast, in Europe. That was all experience. Did I make mistakes along the way? I'm sure I did, and I learned from it. But at the end of the day, today, all those mistakes and experiences I call life experience,
Mhm.
then made me today who I am and helped me to grow and become what I'm doing in here, and who I want to become, right? And it will never stop. I mean, I'm sure I will make more mistakes as well along the way. It doesn't
Oh
stop.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I got a couple more questions, but you just named this podcast. The name of this podcast is going to be Life Experiences. So that's that. That's where we're going to list it.
Okay, I love it.
Are there any other business you wish you would have got into or you'd like to get into beside these two you already have?
Oh, of course, yes. I wish, especially this past year, I wish I would have known about this stock market a little bit better.
Mm.
And I'm actually taking more classes to learn about more financials, the buy and sell businesses. So I'm getting into more that one. But stock market is like really that I wish I could have just learned and start before. Sometimes limiting beliefs just holds us. I think coming from my parents, and my dad always, it's a big risk in playing. It's just like, going in a casino, playing
Yeah.
in the stock market. But now, nowadays, you have like financial advisors that you can actually find the right person to guide you, to teach you, and to help you to invest your money, and to play and see what it gets you.
Again, guidance, yeah. No, and I'm the first entrepreneur in our family, so no, I do get that whole, that's risk, don't do that, and they try to suggest things from a good point, but they don't know, so it's one of those things. So how do you define the word success? What's success to you?
Oh, success, being the decision maker, I think. That's most important to me. I mean, being the decision maker in your life, that was almost, I would say, the most important thing in my life. And having the independence, freedom, doing what you want to do, where you want to go, who you want to be with, all those things are like define how you want to live your life is more important to me. I think if you get that point of comfort that you can decide it all, that I believe you're successful enough. But when you, I mean, do you think, am I thinking I'm successful when you consider these criteria? And yeah, I believe I am. But when I think of and looking at the other people, how much they build in this life, what legacy they are bringing, I'm not even close to be successful. So it's a different perspective. But I will say success means to me being the decision maker of my life, being the captain of my life. And that's enough for me for now. But I never stop. So big goals.
Absolutely, having control. I like it. And that's my next one is what is your biggest goal for 2021?
Learn stock market. um, I have a couple of partnership business ventures that I am working with my consulting business, and some destination expand that we are going to do for my travel business. Beside that one, I will say learning stock market and learning Spanish. You're gonna laugh, but I was invited to a Zoom conference yesterday with probably 15, 20 investors in it. And I didn't know they were speaking Spanish. At least there was like a presentation. I was looking at the graphs and I was like, okay, I understand. But this is another moment. The universe telling me is English is not, English is my second language, but I guess we are at the time right now that we need multiple languages like Italian and Spanish. I think I always wish and dream to learn, and I believe it will be good for my business. So at least conversational level,
Yeah,
that's on
yeah.
my list for 2021.
That's funny. I want to, and I've tried in the past. I got dizzy. Again, I don't like numbers, but the stock market, I try to learn it. That is definitely a goal of mine. And I had French in mind. I want to learn French. I don't know why French, but it's like I have to learn a new language. I already know Spanish and English, of course, here we are. So
That's good.
French,
That's
but yeah, expand because as you grow as an entrepreneur, eventually you will travel the world. You meet new people. I mean, here I'm talking to you and you've been all over the world, so it's you don't know where you're going to be next, so it's just that intrigue, interest to be able to conversate with people.
definitely traveling rules my world, I would say, and that was one of the biggest challenge that I have gone through in 2020. And I mean, Hawaii is an amazing, beautiful place. I love to be in here, but I used to travel a lot, so I get often, they call it island fever here. I get island fever a lot, so I wish this whole thing is going to be over soon.
I hope so. I think so. Absolutely. So, Sarah, I will be traveling to Hawaii. It's been my goal for a while, and I don't know when, but when I do, I'm going to pay you a visit, and I want to see some of these yachts. I'm interested. You got my interest.
Well, we don't have this much big yachts in Hawaii, but we have beautiful sail yachts like 60 foot, 50 foot,
That'll
beautiful
work.
ones. But if you want to see one of those, then you need to come to one of the boat shows in Florida. So I invite you on that one.
I
You
will be
can
there.
see
Got it.
some of the shark boats.
Absolutely. So, any last encouraging words for those tuning in?
Last, live your life to the fullest. And time is short, life is short. And
Mhm.
I mean, of course, we need to keep working as well. What I say to myself, I work like I will never die, and I try to live my life that I will die tomorrow. So that's more important. Live the life to the fullest and know that everything that you have gone through, that is going to be not permanent. It's always temporary, and you will get over it. I say there's a quote on my fridge, on my board written. Every morning I read that and I leave my home that time. Your smile will overcome everything. That reminds me always to smile no matter what, even I feel like crying.
Interesting. I like it. I like it. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Well, how can people connect with you?
My Instagram is traveling through this life, and they can send me a friend request on Facebook, Zehra Aksu. And I am on LinkedIn as well, not so active, but that's on my to-do list as well. LinkedIn, Zehra Aksu, and traveling through this life, Zoo Travels, that they can follow us on Instagram too.
Absolutely. And I will link all these to the bottom of this video. I will share this video with you. It will also be listed on our podcast, of course, and JT Millionaire Flicks. So it'll be listed on there as well. But yeah, definitely no. Pleasure having you on here. I'm glad you come on our show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
Yes, ma'am. Two questions off the air, so I'm going to stop it now.
Okay.